Alright, what's going on, everybody? Matthew here from Fiber Optics Productions on YouTube. And this video I'm going to show you how to basically hack and crack WEP wireless networks using AirWizard for Windows. And basically AirWizard is a .NET Framework 2.0 application that basically uses the Aircrak-NG Win32 applications. Basically the Aircrak-NG Windows versions. It basically sends the commands to those files that to the Aircrak-NG files and all that are used for cracking WEP wireless networks. All right. So you're going to need .NET Framework 2.0 installed, and if you need AirWizard, you can find it on Zarbyte.com, or you can send me a PM on YouTube. I'm going to be using a Netgear WPN511, and it is a PCMCIA wireless card. It's one of these old-fashioned kind of wireless cards. It's not a USB card. It actually is a card that slides into the computer. Just Google PCCIA slot, and you'll get an idea of what kind of card I'm using. I recommend you use that kind of wireless card rather than using some other wireless card if you want to be able to use AirWizard. I'm going to be using a Dell Latitude D610 laptop, and if you have any questions, you can leave them below. Alright, so let's get started. First thing you're going to need to do is you're basically going to need to download AirWizard to make sure you have .NET Framework 2.0 installed on your computer. And you can download that from Microsoft. And you're going to need to install the drivers, the ComView drivers, because AirWizard uses ComView drivers. And just so you know, AirWizard is no longer being worked on. The guy who was working on AirWizard ran into some problems with the company that that basically sells ComView for Wi-Fi, and they got ticked off because he was using their drivers for this. So he had to discontinue working on AirWizard, which is why it's hard to find. So if you need AirWizard, you can find it on Zarbyte.com. Alright, so I'm a little sidetracked. I'm trying to work on doing this video for you. Alright, so you're going to need to install the drivers, and to do that you're going to need to go to My Computer and then Property. If you're using Windows Vista or Windows 7, you might run into some problems due to the security that they both have. So I recommend you use Windows XP if you're going to do this. You go to the Hardware tab on the Properties of My Computer, and then go to the Device Manager. Now what I recommend you to do is if you have this wireless card that I'm using, that I said I was using, I recommend that you install the drivers that come with the disk. That way it's that your wireless card is listed in the Device Manager. And then what you can do is you can overwrite the driver with the ComView drivers. And to do that, you just highlight the wireless card and then right click on it and update driver. Once you go to get ready to update the driver, what you do is a window pop up like you see here. You want to click the yes this time only, and then you want to install a list or a specific location advanced, and then click next. And then you want to click the do not search. I will choose the driver to install. What you want to do is highlight your wireless card and go to I have disk and click the browse button and locate to where AirWizard is installed on your computer, and that should be in C drive and then AirWizard, as you can see. There's some drivers that you can use. I'm going to be using the Atheros driver for ComView. There's also other drivers that you can use, but I recommend that you use the Atheros or driver for ComView for Wi-Fi, and that is the Net 5211 driver. Just click on it and click open, and then click the open button from the install disk, and it should be listed here. And what you'll need to do is click the next button, and it should be copying the files over to use the ComView for Wi-Fi drivers. And hopefully, if your wireless card installs the drivers, if your computer installs the drivers for it, then you should be using ComView drivers, and it should look like you see on my screen using ComView drivers. And there's no exclamation mark, yellow exclamation mark indicating there's a problem with the driver. Alright, so the next thing is to actually start AeroWizard, and what you want to do is just start AeroWizard. You'll need .NET Framework 2.0 installed. If you don't, then you'll get an error when you try to launch AeroWizard. Alright, so AeroWizard is loaded. Now what you want to do is go to the adapter list and Mac Changer tab, and if your device is not showing, then just click the refresh button, and hopefully it'll show. If it doesn't, then there's something wrong. Alright, so you want to highlight the wireless card that has ComView, the ComView driver. You can't use any of the other wireless cards or any of the other devices. It has to have ComView next to it. Alright, so you can change the MAC address if you want. I'm not going to be changing the MAC address because I'm going to be cracking my own WEP wireless network, so I have no reason to even change the MAC address, but the option is there if you want to change it. What you want to do is you want to go to the monitor mode tab and make sure that you have, and the adapter list, make sure you have your adapter highlighted, and go to the monitor mode tab and click the start AirServe-NG. Once it's enabled, you want to go to Start AeroDump. A little window should open up on the right side of AeroWizard, and what you want to do is you want to look for the wireless network that is showing up with WEP wireless. WPA and WPA2 cannot be used in this because it's not supported in AeroWizard, so don't waste your time. Alright, so once you find the wireless network that is running a WEP wireless network, and once you do, just click Stop AeroDump, and the access points should be listed in the access point, as you can see here. Highlight the wireless network that has a WPE wireless network, and just click on the MAC address, and then go to the AP details and AeroDump-NG. The information should be in here, so if it is, I'm just going to go ahead and make sure all my other stuff is gone before I do this. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to start, everything in here should be automatically in here going for that network. So all you really have to do is click the Start AeroDump-NG button. Whatever you do, don't check the box that says write IVS only. Don't check that box. Leave it unchecked. Alright, so AeroDump should be running over here on the right. So what you want to do is go to the authentication and packet reply and injection. You'll want to click the box under fake authentication and click on the little checkbox that says advanced. Everything here should be left as default. Click apply and then click authenticate. Window should pop up as saying connection successful, and as long as it says association was successful and you get a little smiley face, then you're good to go. If you don't, then you'll have to move closer to the network, or probably you're too far away from it, or you're too close to it, so you'll have to either move closer or move farther away from it, one of the two, so that you can get the association successful with a little smiley face. Alright, so the next thing you want to do is you want to do a fragmentation of the fragmentation. You can do chop chop if you want, but I'm going to be using fragmentation, so if you want to follow along with the video, use fragmentation. Just click the start button. It'll capture some packets, and what you need to do is you need to wait for a packet to be created. And once you get a little packet, just click the S button. So pretty much just waiting for a packet that we can use to create our API packet. So as you can see, I got mine, and I just click the yes button. Alright, so now what we have to do is to create our API packet now. So click the create packet, and what you want to do is you want to locate your XOR file, And let's see, what time is it? Since I already have another one, 12:03, so it's this one. Make sure you delete these if you're going after another one, because these can get confusing. You'll run into some problems if you're going to crack a bunch of them. So if you have previous sessions, you'll want to delete these fragmentations. So what you'll do is you'll create the packet and name it something. I'm going to name it localhost, the name of the access point. Alright, so we've created the packet, and now what we need to do is we need to basically inject the APR packet. So just click the start injection and locate your API, your ARP packet, which should be an arrow wizard. You'll want to delete these later if you have a lot of these. Click open. If you want to use this packet, press the yes button, and then go to the arrow dump tab, and your data should be going up now. Now what you need is you're going to need at least 5,000 data before you can go to this WEP tab up here, this WEP crack/recovery. Before you can use this part, you have to have at least 5,000 data. So I'll just wait till I get 5,000 data. I'm just gonna wait till I get 5,000 data. Now, just so you know, arrow dump can sometimes take a crash, so you might have to restart it. If your arrow dump-ng screen goes completely white, it'll mean that your arrow dump crashed, so you'll have to go over to AP details and arrow dump and probably start this again. As you can see, it's still running. Doesn't say stop, it says stop, so it's still running. But if this says start arrow dump, then it means your arrow dump's not running. Probably took a crash when you were trying to crack the WEP key. Alright, so now I have over 5,000 data, so I can go to this little, there's a a button here with 3 little dots. What you do is you click on this, and you gotta go to your dumps folder, and you gotta locate your cap file. It should be the name of the access point, hopefully, or the name of the XOR or something. It should be, as long as it's a cap file, that's what you needed to have. Just click on the cap. Make sure you delete these later so that you don't have tons of these. And what you do is just click the start Aircrak-ng, and it will basically go and try to crack the WEP key with the data that you've collected. And pretty much what happens is if Aircrak-ng doesn't crack it on the first try, it'll say that it'll try again after such and such IVs. Just let it run. But as I said again, if arrow-dump-ng screen, if the screen on the right of Arrow Wizard goes to a blank white screen with nothing on it, that means that arrow dump crashed, and it sometimes does happen. Arrow dump sometimes crashes with Arrow Wizard. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this video. Alright, so what I did was I stopped Aircrak-ng, and I'm just waiting until I get about 10,000 under the data before I try to crack the WEP wireless network. And I know I showed the Aircrak-ng up to Sony, so that you would know. I recommend you wait till you get at least 10,000 anyways, or at least 20,000 under the data before you try to crack the WEP. Even though you can start at 5,000, but yeah, it's better just to wait a little bit until you get a little extra IVs. Also, just so you know that say Aircrak, the Aircrak-ng or the air dump-ng takes a crash, Basically, when you restart aero-dump-ng, it's going to create another cap file. So just a heads up in case your aero-dump does crash and you try to use the same cap file, it won't work. So just a heads up. You can run into some problems with Aero Wizard. It's kind of complicated to use to some extent compared to some of these other things for Linux, but I know there's some people that love Windows. I mean, there's not very many. The only one that I actually know of for cracking WEP wireless networks is Aero Wizard. That's the only one that I'm actually familiar with that can crack the WEP wireless networks. As far as Linux, there's tons of them, tons of Perl scripts and Python apps and stuff. Backtrack 5 has some, and some of the older backtracks have a lot of wireless cracking software on it. As far as Windows, it's limited. I don't know why, but it just is. I guess it has to do with pretty much the drivers, is what I'm guessing. Alright, so I'm guessing I'm going to go ahead and try to see if I can crack the WEP now. I already have the key right here in Notepad. I'm going to save some time from having to type it out again, but this is the key. I've already cracked it before, so I'm just going to show you what it looks like when you crack it. I'm going to go ahead and start Aircrak-ng again and see if it will crack the key or not. So we're just trying to crack the key now, and probably won't work till about 10,000 anyways. At least that's how it was with my other one. It took me about 10,000 before I cracked it. I'm about 7,000 or so away from 10,000 anyway, so I'll go ahead and pause this again. And my aero dump crashed in the middle of me about 9,000 or 90,000, I think it was, or yeah, like 9,000 or 90,000 something data, and it crashed. My aero dump crashed, so I had to restart it. So it'll take me even longer now, so I'm going to go ahead and pause this, and hopefully I'll catch up to where I left off at. And just as you know, my cap file is 03, so I'm going to have to go ahead and change this to the 04 cap file, because the 03 is no longer needed. I'll go ahead and delete that. Even though you can use the old cap file if you want. For example, I might just save some time and just go ahead and stop aero dump and just show you from another cap file that I have. Just go ahead and delete this and show you from another cap file where I already cracked it already. I believe it's OTU. And there you go, as you can see, key found. That's what it looks like when you find the key. And as you can see, this here in the notepad matches what you see on the key found. The only thing I did is you have to take the colon signs out of the key. You can't put those in Windows. It has to be all together when you put it in the window. So we'll go ahead and copy this key down, paste it into Windows here. I forgot which one of these. It's not that one. I have two wireless cards. One's disabled though. wireless card too. Not this one, maybe it's this one. No, it's not this one. Alright, so it's this one right here. And connection failed. So, probably have to close out. Actually, I have to enable the wireless card, that's right. And I think it's going to crash though, so have to close Aircrak out. I mean, AirWizard out. And let's see. Yeah, there we go. Now it's working. This is why I say that AirWizard is kind of complicated to use. A lot of people are going to find this problem, and I'm already into this video by a lot of time. Yeah, I think I'm using the wrong one by mistake. Yeah, I am. Let's see. It should be this one right here. It's confusing when I have so many wireless cards on. And for some reason it's not showing up. There we go. Alright. So you just click on the network and I don't like Windows. Should ask me for the key, hopefully. Yes. Alright, so the network key is what you'll paste the key right here. That's back here. As you can see. You just paste this into here. And then we should be able to connect to the network. It's creating an address, and it's finally got connected, as you can see. It's connected here. So we can go ahead and check our internet. Zarbyte.com. And this video turned out extremely long, so yep. Alright, so as you can see, Zarbyte.com loads, so we know it works. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get to this spot here and delete this key. Now the actual password that I'm using for the network is password for the WEP key. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you that you can log in with also the password phrase if you would have known it. You know, the thing is, you don't know what the password phrase is. That's why you have to log in with the key that it cracks, the WEP that it cracks. Go ahead and put in password for the password phrase that you can see. And for some reason, I don't know why it's not letting me log in with that for, but that's what the password phrase is. So I have no clue why it's not letting me log in with that, but nevertheless, that's what you have to log in with. So this has been Matthew with how to use AirWizard, even though this video went way over time. In reality, it doesn't take this long to do the video. It's me rambling. This is what made the video so long. Anyway, so hopefully you know how to use AirWizard now, and hopefully you'll be able to use it. I don't know any other Windows programs out there that can crack the WEP wireless networks, but if you do, shoot me a line and let me know what it is. I'll check it out, make a video on it, hopefully. This has been Matthew again from Fiber Optics Productions on YouTube. If you have any questions, leave them below in the description, and subscribe and comment if you like, and also check out Zarbyte.com if you need any help or any questions and I can't get to you on YouTube. Anyways, thanks again.